You must understand that all executable statements means which perform operations are written within the body of the methods. We should not write any executable statements outside the body of the methods, because already I have explained to you the operations are performed, the operations belong to a class are performed by methods. That's why all executable statements are written within the body of the method. That you must understand. And one more thing you have to understand is no method can work independently. So, if you have to write a simple program, just you have to write two SOP statements like this and all that. Two SOP statements you have to write. If it is a C program, then you just write main and write the main block, and even one statement also you write. You can call it as a program. But in Java, no method can work independently. That's why what you have to do, if you have to write a simple operation also, you must define a class and you must name it like a test. And this is required, and thereafter within the, this is the body of the class, within the body of the class only you can write main, or any other method if you want to write, you must write within the body of the class. No method works outside the class definition, that you must understand. Otherwise you can compare with your body. Now you see, this is the body system of a person. Now in that data members and methods, data members and methods are encapsulated. Now you see, let us take blood, oxygen, water. These are like data members. Heart, liver, kidney, these are like functions. Can you get your heart work outside your body? Can you remove your heart and keep it on the table and get it work? It's not possible. When it is encapsulated in your body, then only it functions properly. Outside your body, it never work. That point you must understand. In the similar manner, a method can work within the body of the class, not outside. That point you must remember. And this is and even data also, you cannot place outside. Within the body of the class you can place the data members as well as member methods. And after understanding this, now a class is a reference type. Reference type means actually it is like a kite. If you take kite kite, it is having two components. One is kite, paper part of the kite with the tail, and thereafter one thread is there. Actually there are two different elements. Once you tie that, once you tie the thread to the kite, you will treat it as one. Thereafter we never differentiate, this is the thread, this is the kite. That point you have to understand. If you have to understand reference type, that knowledge is very much essential. So first you have to define the thread. Thread means that is called reference variable. Reference variable. First you have to define a reference variable. Now let us take a room class. Room class, first you define a reference variable, room class reference variable R1. As a result of that, this is formed. You can visualize it like this. Now R1, this is room, and you created, this is like a C++ pointer. Actually Java does not use any pointers. Pointer concept is not there in Java, but instead of pointers, refined pointers, those are called references, those are used. You have defined this reference, don't call it a pointer, but its nature is like a pointer, C pointer. This is that. Thereafter you want to create an object. Now this is a new room, and in this manner you call that. Later we can have a detailed discussion about that, and as a result of that, a real object is created. This is the real object. This is created on heap memory. Heap memory, and heap memory is also known as free store. Free store and heap are one and same. There, whatever values you have given, this is stored 15, 12, and 10. This is the real room object. But what is the role of this thing? Actually, now what we are, because of this code, this segment of code, this is created, and because of this segment of code, this is created. Both are independent elements. You must remember, understand the difference between object reference and object. This is object reference, this is object, this is object reference, this is object. Now what you are doing, you are initializing both. As a result of that, what is happening, originally it is pointing, it is referring null. Thereafter, because of that, this happens. Now you visualize this. This is like paper part of the kite. This is like paper part of the kite. This is like a string. Now you see, this you remember. Actually, why we have to struggle like this? For that, one reason is there. Actually, all these objects are created on heap memory. There are two parts of memory: heap memory and stack memory. Heap memory, whatever space you require for your objects and all that, you can get allocated. For that, you does it. But the problem with the heap memory is you cannot give any names. If you cannot give any names, how can you call it? How can you invoke that? That's why, suppose your kite is flying in the sky, how you manage it, how you play with that, because you cannot have any interface. So for that purpose, you should have a thread. Using thread, you are playing with your kite. So here, for that purpose, we have to create this reference variable. This reference variable is referring this. Then it is created on stack. On stack memory, we can give the names. That's why we are giving names. Names. Actually, for theoretical explanation sake, I am explaining all these things. Until you tie the thread to the kite, you have to treat them as two different elements: thread, kite. Once you try that, you never differentiate it is one. Here also, for theoretical explanation sake, for understanding, you must understand that this is heap memory, this is stack memory, this is a reference variable, this is the object. That differentiation you must know. Otherwise, you never achieve command over this. But whenever you are using R1, this object, then simply using R1 only use. Suppose you want length, R1 dot length. If you want breadth, R1 dot breadth. That use. In usage, code wise, there is no difference. But you must know this concept perfectly. You must differentiate between object reference and object. Then only you can understand the other concepts, and ultimately you can master Java. That point you understand, and these statements and all that in detail I will explain in next concepts.